Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy Chef D-Nail over here at Guess Who's Cooking. Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And of course, we got the world famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 773-992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday, all right? And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2, all right? You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking, and of course on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down, get your orders.
Hey, we remain faithful in temptations, rejoice in tribulations, demonstrate patience in every situation, picking up the pieces to their heart restoration. People brokenhearted and in need of salvation. We in captivity, we done lost our history, disconnected from his laws, now there's no integrity. Here's the book and let them see, because they dying in these streets, walking in darkness, and where the carcass is, the eagles be. Walking in darkness, and where the carcass around us like vultures, murder on their mind when they approach us. Let your light shine, watch them scatter like roaches. Babylon falling cause we taking back our culture. Heal our land, Abba now put us back in agriculture. This word burning them up, Romans is a flamethrower. We prophesy destruction, nukes coming, game over. International, continental, ballistic missile. Them bombs dropping like rain, no drizzle. The lake of fire make them sizzle, showing fruits of the spirit. We don't gather figs of thistles. That's the dog, you know, so just like you were saying.
Hey, my name is Amani Bright Laws. I'm a travel business owner. My business is Always Shine Bright Travel, where we help you discover your next bright destination. I want to talk to you really quickly today about becoming a travel business owner. Listen, if your passion is traveling, if your passion is exploring the world, if your passion is wanting to travel and explore the world, then you should become a travel business owner, okay? I have 2 easy ways to get started. Less than 1 minute, okay? The first way, up here, our website, travelagentworkshop.com. And please use my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? The second way is a text code. Text the word workshop to the number 281-767-9711. And again, reference my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? Listen. The workshop is free. It's a free 3-day workshop, which gives you all the information on how to get started to become a travel business owner, okay? Any questions that you have will get answered within that workshop, okay? So let me meet you on the money-making side of travel, where you can turn your passion into your paycheck.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and being light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the head inside, don't touch my head. As I sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find.
Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation. I wanna clock out as soon as I clock in, but a nigga got goals, so I gotta lock in. 30 hours is still broke. I feel like they mocking. Gotta do doubles for a band. I'd rather hit the block then. But then, so many caught off the Rico. This oppression in it feels like the Book of Job. Instead of the Book of Job, it's like the Book of Job. After paying all them taxes, I feel like I got robbed. Man, you see this, man? I've been working 40 hours and I got J.O.B. means just over broke. My coworkers get off and they just wanna smoke. Got me, I don't smoke. I'm in this booth to cope. You gotta hear me out. I'm the voice of hope. I don't wanna be stuck in the back of this truck. It's hard as fuck in the back of this truck. Man, just staring at me, feeling petty as fuck. Yeah, I just wanna give up. Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation. But one day we gonna be free. That's the vision that the Lord showed me. But the other day I had a terrible dream. Went to work and AI replaced me. I'm a raven. Say anointed. Black and royal, same color as the soil. My cup overrunneth, anoint my head with the oil. All my people should wear crowns, different shades of brown. Just like Adam formed from the dust of the ground. You can find that in Genesis, the serpent is my nemesis. But I get energy from the sunlight. Photosynthesis, my message is black as coal, black as Job. I'm scared black upon me, baby, I'm black to the bone. Pull out the blue, red, purple carpet, coming for the throne. Check out the stock market, melanin, worth more than gold. I'm black and comely, he daughters of Jerusalem. They don't know what to do with them, pursuing them. Some claim to be Jewish, I'm refusing them, rebuking them. How you Jewish? I'm refusing them, rebuking them. How was Moses mistaken for an Egyptian? Why was Joseph mistaken for an Egyptian? Even Paul the apostle mistaken for an Egyptian. Acts 21 and 38, I am not Egyptian. Exodus 11 and 7, no, I am not Egyptian. They Ham and I'm Shem. See, the lineage is different. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the lineage is different. Don't get caught up in the system. I'm pure black, more black like the dark ages. The Hebrews that built Timbuktu, so sacred, so hated, called racist. Don't try to debate it, your debates get deflated. I am not one of them, I am one of the greatest. Don't try to debate it, your debates get deflated. They Ham and I'm Shem, no, we are not related. Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23. Don't it look like I just came out the furnace? Follow Yah's laws and you know that I'm earnest. Here to do the Lord's service. Tribe of Benjamin, never seen a wolf play in the circus. Will never take the chip, rather fry your circuits. Blessed in the midst of curses, writing these songs and verses. To your chagrin, my friend just blow in the wind. Shields and menorahs on my diadem. Comfortable in the skin that I'm in. Melanin popping, popping out. Royalty in the building, Esau. Better watch his mouth. He done started a fight a camp. I'ma have to knock him out. Revelations 2 and 10, no fear when the guns are out. Hamashiach said, be faithful to death, he'll give us a crown of life. Yahweh Shai gave us crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Yahweh power. Gave us crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Yashar Allah, we got crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23.
God, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai. All right, you know what I'm talking about.
Good.
So, Khan, we got our reader today is
Yatai.
man. Khan, you know what I'm saying, a mighty evangelist all around the world in 3 days. You know, Maverick, what's going on, King? How you feeling?
I'm good.
Khan, all
4
praises.
cities, 3 days.
4 cities in 3 days.
All praises.
Putting in that brick, Khan. All right, so we are going to start off with the Lord's Prayer. So if everybody, wants to stand face to east, we're going to begin. Okay, this is the Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Balapaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Balrataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Natananawa, Laham, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaf Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalaf Nawa, Kabawafi Nawa, Wala'a, Dabi Nawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Wa'ala, Watapalaraf, Wawalamnyam, Aman. Khan, okay, so first, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Kom Yashala, Rise Israel, double honors to our elders, waking up the lost sheep of Israel in these last days. That's you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Well, let's get it started, all right? So this class is called Sit in the Dust. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, America is stuck. America is the snake that eats its tail. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know why they're falling. They don't know why they're stumbling. But what we're going to do, we're not going to prop this diabolical government up. We're just going to bring out what's going on as it ties to biblical prophecy. Okay?
That's right.
So if everybody, listen, this is a great time to repent. Just like we was talking about, the times are here. You can see the writing on the wall. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Your government is on the Epstein list, not one person. Your government goes to pedophile islands. Okay? And then they like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. But then we got emails with Donald Trump and Bubba. It gets nasty, you know what I'm saying? So when we get to that, we'll, the kids go to the other room, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna get too graphic, but this is what it is. We got to talk about it, because everything that's done in the dark is going to come to the light.
That's right.
And this is what's happening. We can't, It is what it is. For a country to take our ancestors, work them to the bone, day in and day out, the whips, the lynchings, beatings, oppression, psychological warfare, and now it's coming to them. Now all these terrible things that we had to go through, you see the transfer of the curses. Well, let's get it. All right. Now, you might say, look, man, that's, that's not nice. What would Jesus do? You know what I mean? There's people that have that type of energy of, that just us bringing out what Esau does is not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like it's being mean. Let's talk about some current events that they're currently doing. All right. And you tell me whether it's justified or not.
That's right.
It's a long time ago out. 400 years. It was thousands of years. Slavery was thousands of years ago. Somebody actually said that out their mouth. Slavery was thousands of years ago. They went through the American educational system, and they believe that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Let's talk about some current events. Let's start with Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16. Because it's time for Esau to sit in the dust. He's a bit, man. We're gonna laugh at him too. You know what I'm saying? No love for us. So if you like it, we love it. God, you can bring it out.
God, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 6. Forsake her not, and she shall
16, Slocky. 16.
Oh, 16.
God.
Verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall.
So that energy is diabolical. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even sleep unless you being evil. So it starts to make sense. You're like, yo, why would they continue to do this? Why would they? You know what I mean? Like you want to take away SNAP benefits from people? You don't want people to eat? You acting like it's coming out of your pocket. Like, oh man, I gotta pay for these people's SNAP benefits again. It's their money. It's our tax dollars. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you pay into this. You pay into Social Security. You pay into these programs, the unemployment. They're like, oh man, here you go, get on unemployment again. It comes out of your check. You actually read the taxes that all the federal income tax, state income tax, we printed up your check tax, the parking tax, you wear glasses tax. You're taxed on everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So you want people not to eat? Do you know how diabolical that is? Do you know what a degenerate evil person would actually like want that to happen? Like you want to see people starve. You know what I'm saying? Megyn Kelly came out the other day, was talking about, we're gonna get into all this too, the bombings of the Venezuela boats. They say they're carrying tons and tons of cocaine and fentanyl and heroin and everything. Oh, scary drugs. You know what I'm saying? When the family's like, nah, they were fishermen. We did a complaint against the actual, the international government. See that if that does anything, but we made a complaint. They weren't doing anything wrong, but America wants to destroy their economy. So they're blowing up their fishing boats. They're blowing up, or they're telling people don't fly. Their airliners can't fly right now. You know what I mean? The airplanes, Slovakia. So Megyn Kelly's like, yeah, I want to see them suffer. They bombed one ship, and then, people survived. She was like, I was so upset that people survived. I wanted them to bleed out. I wanted to see their limbs off, and they are bloody men and bloody women, as we see. So when you read the scriptures and it actually ties into who Esau is, you're like, oh yeah, it's the Arab, or you know what I mean? So, some random African tribe that nobody ever heard of. That's who Esau is. You're like, are you dumb? Or is you stupid? They're showing you who they are. They're not hiding anything. You know what I'm saying? So they can't even sleep. So let me tell you how Trump, I think it was 2 nights ago, was up all night long sending tweets or what do you call it? He's on Truth Social, tweets, posts, whatever. 400. This is the president of the United States. Nigga, you got to go to sleep. Don't you got to worry, if something happens and they have to be called into the Oval Office or the war room. And the next day he sleep. He's sitting there like nodding off while Marco Rubio and RFK was talking. He was nodding off because he don't get no sleep unless he does evil. So he's talking evil things. He's minimizing war crimes. And this is where your tax dollars go to. So just laying it out there. This is why they're getting the treatment that they're getting. And they don't even realize why. They don't even know. They think they're doing a good thing. Just like Pharaoh. He's the Most High is hardening his heart. He's like, oh, I gotta let these people go, man. I'm in the way right now. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, nah, you staying here. You staying here. All you people still are under me. You know what I mean? And I'm the king. So the Most High is just putting things in front of our face to show us who they are, who we are, and what we need to be doing. This is the time for repentance. Come on back. All right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? 3 verse 17.
Con, verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
This is what they do. They eat and drink
right
wickedness and violence. You know what I'm saying? This is America. Let's be honest. This is America. All right. So the first video we're gonna look at. Oh, let me say Fair Use Act. Fair Use Act. Videos protected by the Fair Use Act. It's a lessons to teach in class, thus being protected by the Fair Use Act. All right. So the first video we're going to look at is what Esau wanted to do. This is on his mind 24/7, 365.
We want to warn you that this next story can.
It's pretty bad. Go ahead, King. We're all good.
Contains details that are rather disturbing and may not be appropriate for young audiences. 2 Texas men have been charged in connection with allegedly plotting to invade a Haitian island, murdering the men there, using the women and children as sex slaves. Authorities say that the 2 were also planning to recruit people experiencing homelessness here in the district to help them with their plot. And there's also an alleged connection to Joint Base Andrews right here at home. John Duran has been looking over all of these court documents all day long. John, no doubt some very wild and rather disturbing allegations there.
Yeah, serious allegations, Larry. 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas are facing federal charges, including conspiracy to murder, maim, or kidnap in a foreign country. If convicted, that carries a sentence up to life in prison.
The U.S. Attorney's Office out of Texas's Eastern District says over the course of about a year, Tanner Thomas and Gavin Weisenberg plan to invade Gonave Island, a territory of the Republic of Haiti. Court documents filed Thursday show Thomas and Weisenberg allegedly plan to take the island by force, murder all the men on the island, which has a population of about 87,000 people, and carry out their rape fantasies by turning the remaining women and children into sex slaves. Investigators say the 2 plan to buy a sailboat to travel from the United States to Gonave Island. They also plan to purchase military-style rifles to use in their coup. According to court documents, in January of this year, Thomas enlisted in the Air Force to gain military training to help carry out the attack. Officials say in February 2025, while in basic training, Thomas had himself reassigned from Ramstein Air Base in Germany to Joint Base Andrews here in Prince George's County. Court documents say he did this to be closer to D.C., so he could allegedly recruit people experiencing homelessness to be part of their plot. In August 2024, Weisenberg allegedly enrolled in the North Texas Fire Academy to get trained in command and control protocols. Court documents show Weisenberg failed out of the academy in February 2025. Afterwards, Weisenberg allegedly traveled to Thailand to enroll in sailing school, but didn't follow through with it because the training was too expensive. Investigators say the two suspects also studied Haitian Creole to help facilitate their armed coup plot.
On top of those allegations, federal prosecutors allege at some point during their plan to overthrow Ganav Island, Thomas and Weisenberg also coerced a minor to be in a child pornography that they filmed. They face 15 to 30 years in prison if convicted of that offense, Larry.
All right. Of course, we will wait and see how things progress through the legal system. John Duran, we appreciate the information.
Do you see the level? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was a thought. It was a thought. They were putting things into action. He joined the military just for this. Like, and if you talk to anybody that knew him, like, oh, he was a nice guy. He was polite, always spoke. You know, I would never think that he would do something like this. This so we dealing with, man. You know what I'm saying? He went into the military just to fulfill this fantasy. He said, hold up, I'm over here. Nah, in Germany. Nah, I need to get some homeless people to help me. Can I transfer over to Maryland so I can be closer to my family? Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to recruit homeless people to help him. And then go to, of all places on the planet, Haiti. Haiti will chop you up. Levi is no joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give Levi a rock and they'll destroy you. You know what I'm saying? They did it to the French. The French like, we got to get out of here. These people crazy. You know what I'm saying? Levi is a warrior, but he wants to go to an island that has 87,000 people. And notice what they said. The fantasies, the sexual fantasies that they were talking about was women and children. Totally depraved, totally gone. What kingdom is he going into?
You gotta save him, man.
You gotta save him? You gonna give him a life vest? You'll save Esau, man. What?
Yeah.
What? You got to be out your mind, man. Like, you want some other to think that Esau can be saved is to not know history, to not understand the scriptures, and current events. Do you want him? You want him sitting next to you on the bus, let alone in the kingdom, sipping wine with your house shot? Listen, man. All right. Different topic, different time.
Salakia, King.
Go ahead, King.
It's just like the movie, what's that, Life? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough evidence to how long?
Yeah.
Life.
Life. God. Drop the gavel.
And then he then they wanted to learn the language to ensure. Now it's premeditation. What are we doing here?
That's because he cares about the people. You know what I mean? They want to go and help the people.
Yeah.
He saw, and then you know what I mean? He'll walk up like, oh, look, he speaks our language. And that, you know what I mean? It's Jake that will let Esau into his house, you know what I mean? Or walk around freely in his neighborhood, rob everybody else.
Yeah.
Esau comes in and says, yo, what's up, bro? They're like, oh, he's down. You know what I mean? This guy, he gets us.
Yeah.
You know, the next president comes, he comes in, hopefully he won't be there that long, but after Trump, it's going to have to be a Democrat because Trump's tearing things up, right? So a Democrat's going to come in and say, I wish I had some sweet potato pie. And then here the cloud claps and, you know, praises this Edomite. Divest. Get you an Edomite, girl. Swirl life. This is, their mind state is gone.
That's
and
right.
You get to see it. You know what I mean? Like, we're able to see, to all praise to the Most High, to get a little bit of a window into the mindset of Esau. You know, you get, after they get caught, you have Jeffrey Dahmer, you know what I mean, Ed Kempler, all these serial killers. You get to see what they think after they get caught. You like, there's people out there like that? Yes. Yes. The border of wickedness.
That's right.
Let's get Job 20 and 19. Let's take it back. You know what I mean? Because the reality is people are expecting them to change. Like our people, like, yo, one day, you know, they'll get it together. And Esau says that too. We're not ready for equality now, but soon. Do you really want to be equal with somebody that will spend years of their life living out a fantasy to literally murder, rape, kidnap, and enslave? No. And when you look back, did they really change? Has anything changed? Doesn't look like to me. Go ahead, King. You can bring it out.
God, this is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 19. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he built not.
Khan, he wants an island. Why don't you go anywhere else? Why not go to Ireland, Scotland, the UK? No, he wants to come to Haiti. You know what I mean? And oppress. Because this is what we're dealing with. Now let's go back. Let's go back in time. Let's go to 1 Maccabees, chapter 12. What changed? What changed with Esau? 1 Maccabees 12, and let's go to verse 48.
Okay.
Con, you can bring it out.
Con, this is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 12 and verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men.
First Maccabees,
Con,
12 and 48.
Salakia. Yeah, I'm here, King.
Con. Salakia. Con, you bring it out.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 12 and verse 48. Now, as soon as Jonathan entered into Ptolemais, they of Ptolemais shut the gates and took him, and all of them that came into him, they slew with the sword.
Con, kidnapping, homicide. Go ahead.
They sent Tryphon and hosts of footmen and horsemen into Galilee and into the great plain to destroy all of Jonathan's company.
Con, their mindset is just strictly on, destroying people. Go ahead.
But when they knew that Jonathan and they that were with him were taken and slain, they encouraged one another and went close together, prepared to fight.
So when you actually, ready to fight back, what does Esau do? Go ahead, read next verse.
They therefore that follow upon them, perceiving that they were ready to fight for their lives, turn back again.
Turn back again. You know what I'm saying?
God.
You show any resistance to Esau, to the Edomites, and they turn back, right? So this is the mind state, right? They're chimping out, man. They are products of animalistic behavior, animalistic upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Bath day. Don't wash your legs. Don't grow hair but fur. This is animalistic behavior. So when they project that you guys came from monkeys, it's like y'all are the ones that have animalistic behavior.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You watch the sci-fi stories and they're like, how come aliens don't come visit us? And they're like, look the way you people are. But look who's in charge. Do you know what I'm saying? They say you should UFOs should land on the White House lawn and they say, take me to your leader. Look at your leader is in Epstein files. Your leader goes to pedophile islands. Do they want to meet him? Like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Why would they want to meet this stooge? Tries to hide our the things that our ancestors have done. Go into the Smithsonian, right, and take out the Black excellence. That's not a leader. Okay. All right. So they're chimping out. They're falling apart. They're sitting in the dust. But wait, there's more. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 8. This segment we'll call Pete the Killer. Bloody men always have murder on the mind. Even in these last days, even as you can see literal UFOs, unidentified flying objects in our solar system flanking not even the United States, Slovakia, flanking the Earth on both sides. World War III quickly approaching, economic disaster, famine, earthquakes in diverse places. They can't help it. You know what I'm saying? With Ecclesiastes 7:13, how can you make straight what the Most High made crooked? He made them like this.
Slovakia, 1-15.
What's that?
1-15, King.
1-15?
I can bring it up.
Oh, Con.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 15, and it reads, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
Con. I believe he does always talk about it in 7:15 as well.
7:15?
Yeah, it was 7:13.
It could be.
But
yeah.
But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That it goes to the point, right? That yeah. So they can't the original can't get rights. You know what I mean? The original can't get rights. Okay, let's continue on.
Go.
And I appreciate all the trolls. Thank you for, actually tuning in. You might learn something. All right.
That's right.
Let's go to Habakkuk 2 and verse 8. Because it starts to hit home. You know what I mean? It's like it starts to
fix that spirit.
You know what I mean? Like it's hitting me right in the side. You know what I mean? Like body blows, man. It's body blows. Especially because it's the truth. It's the truth. Bring that out, King.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
So you spoiling many nations. Let me go to Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. Do you know what I'm saying? Syria, Iran, Venezuela. Like, when does it stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you tired yet? Can't you just sit at home and enjoy your retirement? You can't. You know what I mean? Dick Cheney was a demon up until he died. Donald Trump is in his 80s. He's having dementia. He's the same way. Warmonger. He's talking to be the war. He's talking to be the peace president. Peace of what? What peace? And it hasn't even been a year. But he's just going, I stopped 8 wars. What wars you stopped? Do you know what I'm saying? With the war between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, like nobody cared about that. What happened to Ukraine and Russia? What What happened? What's happening in Iran and Israel? That war hasn't stopped.
Mm-hmm.
They're not friends.
So
just getting their stuff together. Go ahead.
I was just thinking the same thing when he told them to, hold on, no more fights and whatever. Trying to calm it down. Gave him a 24-hour ban or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the little ceasefire they have in Gaza. That's
a ceasefire. Yeah.
Yeah. In Gaza and Israel, they're still going back and forth. And with Iran and Israel, the reason why they're not fighting anymore is because Israel's getting destroyed. They had to re-up on their little, defense missiles because those Iranian missiles was hitting a target. Boom, boom, Tel Aviv. So there's no such thing. Yeah, beautiful soundbite. Because when you look at the videos on top of that, how they always pick on, like we was reading in Maccabees, they always pick on somebody who they perceive can't fight back. So when Iran was throwing them things right back, they're like, all right, we're gonna chill. Matter of fact, what's Hamas doing? Let's go pick on Hamas. Because they weak. Now think about this. Why isn't America trying to pick with North Korea? Remember North Korea? Oh, my button's bigger than yours, and this, that, and the third. Kim Jong-un was like, I have the biggest nuclear missile in the world. Do whatever you do, but no, I'm gonna blow y'all up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we cool. I mean, you my man. It's all good.
Ain't gonna pull that down with the fools down the street.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pull that with the fools down the street. God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ran into Debo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or Debo, you know what I mean? Well, for that instance, North Korea was playing a Debo move. You know what I mean? And America was only tough with Venezuela. Venezuela ain't got no nuclear missiles. Venezuela ain't bother nobody. There's drugs coming there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Drugs. The reason why your kids are all hocked up on pills and Percocets and fentanyl and heroin and dying is because of Venezuela. Venezuela, like, what we do to you? But Venezuela has an abundance of oil. And what they want to do is steal that oil. Right? That's always been Esau's claim to fame, is being a thief, a liar, and a murderer. And now it's coming back to haunt them because Pete the Killer, Pete Hegseth, whatever his name is, supposed to be the Secretary of Defense. He calls himself the Secretary of War, but now it's the Secretary of War Crimes because Pete ordered a strike on a Venezuelan boat, which destroyed the boat but left survivors. So he hit the button again. He ordered them to hit the button again and killed the survivors that are just hanging on the edge of the boat. You know what I'm saying? That's called a war crime. In the Geneva Convention, you're not supposed to kill people that aren't posing a threat. All right. So when he brought all the generals in and says, we're not going to care about all these red tape and I'm going to let you guys do whatever you want to do, right? He's pumping their heads up. Now that they're in trouble and everybody's talking about it, Pete Hegseth says, look, I'm not going to say that the Admiral did it. He's a good guy. I stand by him. Hold up, bro. You are definitely snitching. I know a snitch when I see one. You understand? Because it came all on him. It came all on Pete. Everybody's like, yo, Pete, you just committed a war crime. Well, listen, I know you're saying I committed a war crime and everything, but I'm going to stand by my Admiral just because he pressed that button and he did this. He has my full backing. You giving up tape. I thought it was all love when all the generals in the room and, you know, I had your back with all this. Esau's a snake, man. He's a snake in the Garden of Eden, and he grew up to be a dragon in Revelation. That's who we're dealing with. All right. So let's get Psalm 5 and 6 on deck, but let's have the video. Pete the Killer. They all going to jail.
Esau is the killer. Oh. God.
So you can play the video, King, and we'll get that preset afterwards. You know, this guy got to go. And sit in the dust.
Ari and Dana Frank were joined by Spencer Ackerman, the Pulitzer Prize and National Magazine award-winning reporter, author of Reign of the 9/11 Era Destabilized America and Produced Trump, and author of the Forever Wars newsletter. You wrote a very interesting piece, Spencer, The Legacy of the War on Terror America. As we talk to Rodolfo Pastor and Dana Frank, can you talk about this moment where President Trump has said he's going to pardon a major convicted drug trafficker who is supposed to spend the rest of his life in jail, and the bombing of supposed drug boats in the Caribbean and Pacific and the closing of the airspace over Venezuela, saying he's about to attack it for drug trafficking, he claims?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Amy. I think we're at a really dangerous point in American history right now. Now, your guests, the legacy of the American dirty wars in Latin America of the 1980s on the war on terror. But now we've got the war on terror reflected in the way that the Trump administration is targeting Venezuela, Ecuador, Honduras. We learned over the weekend that the initial of these fishermen boats back in September was a double tap strike ordered by the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth himself, and executed with the full approval of the, at the time, Joint Special Operations Command Commander, Admiral Mitch Bradley, who's now the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. This was beyond even many of the illegal actions taken of the war on terror. However, this shows the moral degeneracy that the war on terror has left as a legacy in the U.S. military, not just the tactic of a drone strike, but the willingness to kill civilians. The double tap strike means that that's a second strike on a target already struck to ensure no survivors. If those were, in fact, people with whom the United States is at war with, as the Trump administration claims, then the second strike is a blatant violation of the law of armed conflict. You are supposed to leave survivors and not give no quarter. If we are not, in fact, at war, as for other purposes, the Trump administration's Office of Legal Counsel says when it's trying to avoid congressional authorization of these sorts of strikes, then this is simply like every other strike that has killed now over 80 people, simply a criminal act of murder.
I mean, you have now Republican-led committees in both the House and the Senate saying they're going to hold oversight hearings to investigate the Pentagon's attacks on the boats, particularly that one September 2nd, where two men survived, were hanging onto the boat, and they struck it again. You have President Trump trying to defend Hegseth, who sources say was the one who ordered the second strike. And what did he do last night? That's Secretary of Defense Hegseth. He tweeted out or put on social media a meme of the children's cartoon character Franklin the Turtle opening fire from a helicopter on boats below. Both the House and Senate Republicans and Democrats, like Senators Reid and Wicker, calling for an investigation into war crimes here. And this goes together with the senators and the senator and Senator Kelly in Arizona and the other Congress members, former military and intelligence, saying, do not follow illegal orders. It doesn't matter if you were ordered from a superior. You will not be protected if you engage in war crimes.
This is a make or break moment for American democracy. We need Hegseth impeached. We need Bradley impeached. Obviously, there's a separate question about Trump, who's ultimately responsible for this. But these men must not be permitted to remain in their jobs. They are turning the military into a criminal operation. We can have a great historical debate about all of the steps necessary to produce that point and previous examples of military commanders following illegal orders. But this is unambiguous. This is as bright line a violation as it gets. This turns the military into something that I think even those Republicans on those committees who have been willing to put up with and have been complicit in so much, as frankly have the Democratic members, this is a step too far. But if there is no accountability for this moment, we should expect it to repeat.
And you also have, at this point, in addition to Republicans and Democrats calling for investigation, the top Pentagon lawyers, the military lawyers who would say to Hegseth, this is illegal. He fired them many months ago.
As well as he fired the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman simply for being black. This is someone who never should have been anywhere close to the office of the Secretary of Defense, one of the most powerful offices in the world. I want to point out a really important forthcoming date. That's December 12th. Reportedly, December 12th is the final day that Admiral Alvin Halsey, the Southcom commander who apparently quit to refuse these criminal orders, is out of his job and out of the military. It's going to be crucial to bring Halsey in front of congressional hearings to talk about exactly what he did ahead of his decision to quit, what Hegseth ordered him to do, what others inside the Secretary of Defense's office ordered him to do that apparently he was not willing to do. This is going to be a crucial moment of investigation if we are to recapture any semblance of lawfulness over the U.S. military.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now!
Khan, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Your Department of War crimes is being investigated, and it's like it's all falling apart. Time to sit in the dust. I mean, if you want to blow up fishermen, you know what I'm saying, and then call them narco terrorists, you might have to pay for it. Okay, let's get that Psalm chapter 5 and verse 6, because God ain't with that. You know what I mean? The Most High God isn't with Esau in his destructive behavior. Okay, now he uses Esau to destroy, then he's going to destroy Esau because frankly, he hates him. Okay, let's bring that out, King. Psalm 5 and verse 6.
Khan, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 5 and verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will arbor the bloody and deceitful man.
Khan, he hates him. You know what I mean? Abhors the bloody and deceitful man, and he hates a liar. He's a liar and a killer. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so the day it happened, or the day it came out, I think it happened in September. When it came out a few days ago, he said, Trump was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said he didn't do it. He said he didn't do it. I believe him. You know what I mean? Pete said, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. And then the video came out. You know what I'm saying? That's the, like, man, I forgot we got high resolution video on all our drones, and he tweets out when he does it. You know what I'm saying? He needs content. South Park was just talking about that. Pete Hegseth always into content. You know what I'm saying? So he tweets out the stuff that he did, and comes out that the CNN and MSNBC and all these other news stations gets a hold of it, and then it's like, oh, that double tap, oh, that war crime. I thought you were talking about the other one, man. I'd be thinking I got a lot on my mind. Yeah, so Admiral, you might want to talk to him. You know what I mean? You might want to talk to the person under me that did that, because I don't even really know nothing about that. But of course, you can go back when he actually said, "Yeah, I was there. I was watching it. I watched it live in real time," and he said that as it happened. So I'm not part of the investigation, but from the outside looking in, it's like y'all in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the military lawyers came out and be like, y'all might want to lawyer up. You know what I'm saying? I think this is war crime status. They might have to put you in front of a Nuremberg trial. So all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Let's get Psalm 55 and 23. Because it's a beautiful thing to see your enemies get destroyed right before your eyes. And you know that the Most High God is doing it. All right. Yeah, Psalm 55 and 23, you could bring it out.
Con, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 55 and verse 3.
23.
Salaki, verse 23. But thou, O Yahweh, shall bring them down into the pit of the destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee.
Con. Bring them down to the pit of hell. They're not going to live past this. There's not, these people are the ones that, who knows what's going to happen to Pete Hegseth. He might make it to go to court. He might make it to go in prison, or the Most High might just take him out. Whether it be, and he be sipping, man. He be sipping hard. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it, in order for him to get this job, he had to tell people, look, I'm not even going to drink no more. Because he was known for just getting drunk and beating up his women and getting into fights and like just being all out, unruly. Just like a, Edomite playing the true nature. But, the Most High might just bring him upstairs just so he could knock him back down into the pit. Because it says, bloody and deceitful men, which he's both, shall not live out half their days. So we'll see what happens with that. You know what I mean?
Con, Salakia, King.
Con.
Also, I had a precept too, what you were saying about the lying lips.
Con.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and 22. And, you can't trust these people. Everything that come out of their mouth, I just don't believe nothing that they say. I'm going to bring it out too, King. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. These people don't deal. They don't. Our people got to be careful, man. Esau is the devil, man.
That's right.
They want to learn the language. I'm just thinking about that again. They want to learn the language just to make sure. Wow. But our tribes, we start speaking the Hebrew, really throw them off.
Con.
Con. Wicked.
Unbelievable. Unbelievably wicked. The border wickedness. You know what I mean? That's right. Okay, so now we all heard about the Epstein files, I'm sure. Donald Trump ran on the platform that when I'm president, I'm gonna release the Epstein files. Pam Bondi's attorney generals like, look, I got them on my desk right now. And they're like, wow, okay, we can't wait for this. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, there's nothing in them. We looked and nothing here to see. But the thing about it, the people that voted for you was like, hold on now. I voted for you just for this. I wanted you to clear the swamp. I wanted you to get these people out of office. These people are abusing children. How much, like, if you want to put like a level of like disgusting, nasty things to do, you know what I'm saying? That has to be at the top, man. A pedophile is like the worst thing on the planet.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? Edomite pedophile, and it's a bunch of them, and they have so much money and wealth and perceived power that nobody can touch them. So it was a big deal. You know what I mean? So they lied and said, look, there's nothing here to see. And they even shut down the government. The government shutdown was because the politicians were going to vote for them to make sure they released the Epstein files. That was the thing, right? So we shut down the government. One of the politicians that won, I'm not sure which state it was like the deciding vote. Do you know what I mean? Like Republicans were saying, look, we need to figure out what's going on. You know, so this politician won, and there was the deciding vote, and they're like, oh, we're gonna shut down the government. Everybody go home. So what happened as a result? People that are working in was it FEMA? Was it air traffic controllers? People weren't getting paid. You know what I mean? They had the military men standing in line at the food banks. You know what I'm saying? SNAP benefits was gone, all because they did not want to release the Epstein files. That is next level depravity.
That's right.
Gone with the wind. Okay. So let's get Jeremiah 49:10. One thing that we saw was sound bites. People saying from that faction, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to go Republican, Democrats, because they're all Edomites. Let's just keep it real, right? So Megyn Kelly, who is a Fox News, was a former Fox News commentator. You have a soundbite of her saying it's disgusting that men will sleep with 15-year-olds. And then a couple months later, when she realized that Trump was one of those men, and all her friends in the Republican Party are in those files, she says, well, 15 ain't that bad. Wait, what? wait, hold on. It's almost like Rick James. Like, I ain't put my foot in your couch, Eddie. Yeah, I put my foot on Eddie's couch. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear what you just said? So Megyn Kelly is the Edomite Rick James. I don't even want to disrespect Rick like that, though. I ain't gonna hold you. But what it comes down to is they have no morals. There's no moral standing. You know what I mean? The morality's way out the door. It's gone with the wind. But all praise to the Most High, because he shows us who they are and what they're about. All right, let's bring that out. Jeremiah 49:10.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not.
So the Most High is when he's talking about making them bare, he's exposing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's exposing them for the world to see. Because we would be out there on the street saying, yo, man, these Edomites are the devil, man. Don't trust them, man. You know, repent, keep the commandments, man. You know, Gad will say the white man speaks with a forked tongue. You know, people will come over to this country and look down on us like, how come you aren't, running things? How come y'all are still in the ghettos and in the slums and poor and this, that, and the third? Like, yo, the devil runs this thing. Mm-hmm. People like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. They're here for a couple of years. They'll see it. You'll see. Hmm. But now it's like public knowledge. This is on mainstream television, mainstream news. You know, people are talking about this, you know, so you can't not see it. You know, you could try to put your head in, you know, your head in the ground like an ostrich if you want, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the Most High is exposing them for who they are. Okay, let's play that. The next video, now it's like 17 minutes. We're not gonna play the whole thing. Probably like the first first like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So we get the overall message. But I'll chime in during the video just to, you know, you can cut it out. You know what I mean?
Evil.
Oh my goodness. There was one point in time that I used to believe that, hey, no matter you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, no matter your philosophy, your political beliefs, doesn't matter, that we can all agree that messing with kids is bad. Whether they kids, teens, children, whatever you want to call them, that messing with them was bad, okay? Any type of sexual deviancy with these individuals was a bad thing, that we can all agree that's bad. You need to go to the sun. That's what needs to happen. You need to be locked up. You need a chair. You need an injection, whatever. It seems that all of us agree on this except MAGA.
Come on now, dog.
I don't know what to tell you, but this is a surefire way to know that you're in a cult. If you happen to be on the side where you're trying to an obstacle, or you're trying to explain when it comes to someone messing with kids, you may be in a cult. I don't know what to tell you. Or you are just completely morally bankrupt. But it really goes to show that Trump was actually right when it comes to his support. How he's talking about how he can shoot someone in the middle of the day and he wouldn't lose a single vote.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
I used to believe that was hyperbole, but now seeing how they're responding to actual innocent kids being attacked, I genuinely believe that. I believe that these people are done. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They need to be gone, bro. They need to be going to a different country, a different planet, because we can't live around people who are trying to co-sign abusing the youth. They want to talk about transgender. They want to talk about the LGBT propaganda. I hear you, but all of that, okay, if you want to scream all of that, oh, they're abusing the kids, they're trying to, brainwashing them. If you believe all that, but then when we have a whole bunch of evidence of what people are doing on an island of trafficking these individuals, women and children, and you don't care about it anymore, you can miss me with that nonsense, all right? You can miss me completely with that nonsense.
A distraction. Just ridiculous. This whole Epstein Files thing, a little bit played out.
And I think it's a moment in time where it should be a sobering effect on millions of people to understand that we don't have news. This is not news. This is mere entertainment / propaganda.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I never thought in a million years, listen to me, I'm being genuine. I never thought in a million years that when it came to uncovering a child trafficking ring, that there would be a United States president who would say, don't worry about it.
Because it's a Democrat hoax. That's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
What? They ran on, hey, we're going to release the files. We're going to release the files. Dan Bongino, freaking Kash Patel. Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We know that that's not what happened to Epstein.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. Why is the FBI protecting the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list?
Some governments around the world may have some material that's related to the Epstein thing. Bill Clinton was knee deep in this, man.
So that was a fucking lie.
As soon as they get sworn in, as soon as they sit their butts in the chair, Well, yeah, that is the story. That's what happened. He did it to himself. That's what happened. You got Pam Bondi. Yeah, the files are on my desk. Well, I meant that metaphorically speaking. And bruh, this should really show you that America is really no different than a lot of other countries. And I mean that in a way not to say, oh, I hate America. I mean that in a way to say, like, the way many Americans view America, we should probably take a few steps back. we should probably just be a little more calm and sober with our understanding of how this country is run. Because really the only difference is it's not in the public. You may go to Russia and other places, and if you do something, they'll execute you right in the public, right? They'll chop off your hand in the public, like, hey, this is why this person is getting their tongue removed. This is what's going on. In America, they're a little more, I don't know, it's a little more entertainment, right? Oh, Princess Diana got in a car accident. Oh no, he ate some bad tuna and died. Oh, that's so sad, right? That's where we are. And leave it to Trump to really even remove that veil. The emperor is butt naked, and they're telling everyone he has clothes on. You have Jesse Waters, saying that, hey, why do we care about old emails?
For a party that claims to care about affordability, they sure waste a lot of time on old emails.
You don't need to see his identification.
I'm sorry, what? You're saying literally, verbatim almost, the same thing that people were talking about when it came to Hillary Clinton's emails, okay? The same thing. What do we care about emails? Like, so what? What does it matter? That's what they're saying. But the big difference is that this has to do with children, fam. This has to do with trafficking. And they're trying to downplay emails, bruh. Emails, bruh, from regarding trafficking. You have Trump in one of the emails talking about, hey, he may have, gave some sloppy top to Bubba. I don't know who Bubba's referring to, but what you mean you giving sloppy top to Bubba and they got videos of this and it's like, hey, does Putin have Trump giving?
Just a sick world we're living in, sick people.
Because you have even Epstein talking about, hey, this guy's the worst thing ever. He's talking about Trump. Now, how bad do you have to be for a child trafficker to say that, hey, you are the worst thing ever, you ain't got a good cell in your body? What? And you still screaming MAGA? Huh? You know what? When I see stuff like this, it leads me to a dark area, bro. It leads me to a dark area, I'm not gonna lie. Where it's like, it seems that all the conspiracies that people are talking about the government and how they planted this and how they did that, and how blackmail is so important and such a viable means of leverage, it's starting to feel like a bit real, okay? Because I think we all forgot what happened to Matt Gaetz. And the person he was messing with was 17. And she was trying to get braces. This chick was selling her body to get braces, fam. This is where we're at. And you saw the cover they tried to do for Matt Gaetz. When I think about all this trafficking, okay, when I think about the Epstein and everything, you can't tell me that people in Congress, okay, our representatives don't know anything about this. Damn. You can't tell me that many of these people, whether Republican or Democrat, are not the same people who are aiding and abetting this trafficking. Damn. It's like George Carlin said, it's a big party. You're not involved. I don't want to be a part of this party, to be honest with you. I don't want it to have anything to do with that. I won't be on the same block of this party. But Trump is such a white ignorant that he knows that, what are you going to do? What you going to do? They can't do anything because they go into the same parties that I'm going to. They doing the same stuff that I'm doing. So they ain't going to do anything against me. And what are the American people going to do? Y'all not going to do anything.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Unless you about that revolution, unless you really about that 1776 life, shut up and dribble. Come on, man. And it gets to the point where you have Megyn Kelly. She goes on and I don't know, man, I'm flabbergasted, bro. I get if you want to, rub elbows with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and the conspiracy and, they got Charlie Kirk. I get that, right? It's all for clicks. It's all for money at the end of the day. Money makes the world go round. But to the point where you're trying to downplay Epstein, Because that's exactly what she did. She tried to say, oh, well, you know, I have on good authority. I have people who know all about the case, not everything, but a good chunk.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything.
What can anyone say to her once she says, well, I know somebody who knows about the case? You can't ask her for a source, right? Well, who are your source? She's not going to tell you who your source is. And you can't deny that, well, you don't know these people. Who are you to say that, right? Who are you? She's Megyn Kelly. You can't tell her what she knows, who she knows, and who she doesn't know. So she's already set herself up in a position where you can't dispute what she's saying. It's a similar tactic that Candace Owens goes and does all the time. Well, I know, I have it on good account from people from TPUSA, and yet, regardless, she goes on and says, well, that Epstein really wasn't into like children, right? He was more of into like a barely legal 15-year-olds.
And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, pause for a second. I'm unaware in anywhere in the United States of America where a 15-year-old is considered barely legal. Huh? I don't know what the heck she is talking about. It's not even a funny situation. But when you refer to a 15-year-old as barely legal, boo-boo, we should be checking your hard drives, okay? We should be looking at your phone records. That's what we should be doing, okay? She should be under investigation. But the problem is, who's going to investigate her? Kash Patel? Dan Bongino, who's all in on the official story for Epstein? Is that what you telling me? Damn. What do you do then? Huh? Who watches the Watchmen? Who police the police? The police? So that's already a red flag right there because a 15-year-old isn't barely legal. That's illegal. Okay, boo? 18 would be barely legal, right? 18-year-old would be barely legal. Anything before that, you are illegal. I don't know what to tell you. I find it very fascinating that the same people who can tell an illegal from a legal when it comes to citizenship, when it comes to birthright, now all of a sudden when it comes to age, they're like, well, what's really legal? Okay. What does this mean to be an adult? What does it mean to be a child? And I'm like, y'all sound eerily, familiar, similar to what you said the Democrats were trying to push, was the whole match, right? The minor person, attracted persons. Y'all sounding very, very similar to them. And I'm just, it's a little off-putting, not gonna lie. It's not a little, it's a lot.
Brother,
You're hypocrites, but you're not even hypocrites for the benefit of the country. You're hypocrites to the detriment of the country, to the detriment of millions of children. Moving past that, as hard as it may be, it gets worse. Because then she goes on to say, well, he was more attracted to like the teens who could pass as if they were younger, but when you looked at them, they looked like they were legal.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Now, riddle me this, Batman. What the hell is she talking about? What is she talking about, fam? We need to put a hat on her with a question mark because she is a new Riddler. Because that makes no damn sense. So let me get this straight. Barely legal, which doesn't even make sense to begin with because you're talking about a 15-year-old. So a 15-year-old who looks younger, right? They look younger.
The very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were.
But you're saying they can pass as an adult? They can pass?
But would look legal to a passerby.
How does that work? How are you a child that looks to be an even younger child, but from other people, you look like you're illegal? It doesn't even make any sense. What she's saying doesn't even make any sense.
Nah, we're good,
They're
King.
just, and the lady next to her, she got a whole story.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But this is what we're dealing with. And these people are in power. That's the thing you got to realize, right? And when you start to see the judgments taking place all over the earth regarding them, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, of course, right? Let's get Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16. Of course they got to get judged. It's no doubt. Our God is a just God. Do you know what I'm saying? So their idea that, God doesn't exist and they can do whatever they want, no issues, no retribution, it's just not reality. Okay. Now, when you got it, you can bring it out, okay?
Khan, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Khan, there's nobody more vain and disgusting than Esau. Do you know what I'm saying? And the scriptures back that up. Thousands of years. Hasn't changed, won't change. Look at Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. They just believe they can do whatever they want, drink the good wine, smell the flowers, nothing's going to happen to you. But that is not the case, okay? One thing that does occur is exposure. You know what I mean? This isn't breaking news, but it's news that we just can't let go. You know what I'm saying? Because we read the emails regarding President Trump engaging in some type of activity with somebody named Bubba.
Hey,
Now
no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
No Diddy. No Diddy. All right, so this is the part of the class where, I know it's getting late. Let the kids go out to the other room. Let the children take a walk. Because it just gets really, it doesn't get graphic, but it gets graphic, if you know what I'm saying. Let's deal with it. All right. The President of the United States. I just can't say. Listen, let's get Isaiah 14 and 16. They stood in line for this man for hours. In the rain, the sleet, the snow. They got tattoos of them talking about fight on their body. You know what I'm saying? Like, my president, I'll take a bullet from my president. Your president was on his knees talking about, never mind. Listen, is this the man? Let's get that, King. Isaiah 14 and verse 16.
Khan, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Had to squint their eyes like him. Is this, am I reading this right? Did Donald Trump engage in fellatio with a man named Bubba? Is that what happened? And is Bubba Bill Clinton? Is that why he don't like the Clintons like that? He don't like Hillary. Hillary, I don't like her. Hillary, she, Hillary, she's the bad person. They were fighting over the same man. This is what we're talking about here. This is legit. Now, Epstein's brother came out and said he wasn't talking about Bill Clinton. He's talking about a horse. Wait, what? He was doing what to a horse? Exposure. Expose them all. And let's not get past this. All right, I know. Oh, it was a long time. This is old news that happened last year. I ain't gonna forget this. Never worry. I'll forget it. Never worry. 31st. You know what I'm saying? That's they plan on doing that, and they give you a whole bunch of other news and things that don't matter. Wait a minute. We're gonna go back to this. This is this is your president. He not only is he in the Epstein files, but he was doing what the who? Can we watch the video and we'll come back with some commentary.
Unbelievable.
Sit in the dust.
I'm trying to hold back my words, King. I'm trying. PG, you know what I really want to say. I'm gonna.
Man,
that's.
If you never mind. Yeah, it's a serious, crazy business.
It's all the devil, man.
For real. Go ahead, King. You're good.
Let's go to truth or fake. Donald Trump inevitably is part of our next feature. Emerald Maxwell joined us over by the Big Book. Good evening to you, Emerald. Great to see you as always. An old photograph of the current U.S. President Donald J. Trump and the former President Bill Clinton has got alongside one of Jeffrey Epstein's emails that has attracted scrutiny on social media. Explain what this is all about.
Well, Mark, we can see the photo being shared on Reddit and TikTok, amongst others. Here it is on TikTok. And it claims to show Donald Trump groping then President Bill Clinton. It's gone viral after the U.S. House Oversight Committee released a trove of Jeffrey Epstein's emails last week, including emails pertaining to Trump. And this photo is being shared alongside those rumors. So let's look at one claim at a time. The photo is, in fact, a real photo of the two, and you can see it here on Reuters and also on Wikimedia. And we know from the Wikimedia that it was taken in 2000 at the US Open by photographer William Vasta. He was the White House photographer at the time. So fact checkers at Snopes got in touch with him about the photo, and he told them that he didn't see any inappropriate contact. Trump was simply signaling to others in the room to gather for a group photo that included him, his guests, and Clinton. What you're seeing in the still photo is just an outtake between handshakes and gestures. And indeed, other photos from that day show the two shaking hands or standing with other people, as well as with Trump's wife, Melania, and apparently sharing a joke. So these photos were released in 2016 when Trump was running against Hillary Clinton in a very acrimonious race for the White House. But the batch of photos show an earlier time, around 2000, when Trump and Bill Clinton were friendly. So in short, it is a real photo, but no, Trump is not groping Clinton in it, Mark.
Okay, glad we clarified that. It's worth pointing out, too, that Trump, Republican today, of course, once upon a time, gave money to Democrats. Emerald, why is this photo viral now?
Well, it's because the internet has also jumped on an email between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark from 2018. And we can see here that this photo is being shared in light of that email, as we see in this Reddit post. The email in question is authentic. We can see here it's got a House Oversight label, and it was part of those that was released along with thousands of Epstein's other emails in a Google Drive folder last week by the House Oversight Committee, which is the United States' House of Representatives Investigative Committee. So in the email exchange, we're just going to have a look at it between Mark and Jeffrey Epstein. Mark tells Jeffrey to ask Bannon, and I quote, if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. The Bannon referred to appears to be former White House strategist Steve Bannon, who was fired from his post about 8 months before the email exchange in question. Meanwhile, social media users are speculating that Bubba is Bill Clinton, because it's an old nickname for him, as we can see in these news articles from the time, these Washington Post and Time articles from the 1990s. But according to The Advocate magazine, Mark Epstein issued a statement addressing the rumors. And he said that the emails were simply part of a humorous private exchange between two brothers and were never meant for public release or to be interpreted as serious remarks. For the avoidance of doubt, the reference to Bubba in this correspondence is not in any way a reference to former President Bill Clinton. Trump has not commented on the email in question, but he has slammed the Democrats for using the emails as a hoax and a distraction. But rumors are persistent, of course, and all the online speculation about the ties between Trump and Clinton and Epstein are doing the president no good. We will see, of course, as the House of Representatives has now approved the publication of the unclassified documents detailing the investigation into Epstein. We'll see what happens next there, Mark.
All right. Okay, so
the president's.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah. You see how Esau sticks together? You know what I'm saying? Like, you clearly see him grabbing that man and looking at the camera and smiling at the camera. And then they say, nah, that's not what happened. What your eyes are seeing is not what really happened, you know? So what he was doing, he was signaling for people to come over there as he's grabbing Bill Clinton below the belt. Gone, you know, gone with the wind. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, and then you know, Epstein's brother has to follow up and say, "Oh no, he was talking about another Bubba. he was talking about him giving oral." Is that PG enough? Like, y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Give oral to another Bubba. Okay. He just be grabbing anybody then. He said, grab him by the I'm saying. We said to women, grab him by the P, grab him by the P. And then he grabbed him by the D. Like you
no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
he all over the place.
Esau, man.
You know what I'm saying? He all over the place. This is the leader of the free world. Don't they say that?
Convicted felon.
God. 36 count?
Mm-hmm.
Grab it. All right. Yo, this is a descent into the pit for Esau. You stood in line for this guy. You wanted him to release the Epstein files. Then to find out he's in the Epstein files. And not only is he in the Epstein files, he's literally in the bed with the Democrats. Literally in bed with the Democrats. You can imagine how that feels like. You wake up the next day reeling everything you stood for. You wanted him to make America great again. It's not happening. They are sick. Esau is sick. That's why they hopping on the live and everything, talking all crazy. They got nothing up. They got nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? As we go up, they go down. And you know, Esau, he's not used to being down. You know what I'm saying? He's not used to being in a position where he's not in control. So you're going to start seeing more and more Edomites testing their flying skills off of bridges and tall buildings, you know, without the jetpacks. You know, they're going to come home and like, look, honey, get the kids all in the living room. You know, it's time to meet Jesus.
Finish him.
That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Right. That is what's going to happen to these Edomites, man. They can't take it. You know? So just to put that out there. And then now let's get Isaiah 47 and verse 7. You know what I'm saying? They didn't realize that there was going to be consequences to your actions. You thought you could just get away with things forever. Nobody going to say nothing to you. They can't do nothing to me. I'm Esau. You know what I mean? I run this. Look at all these presidents, all these white presidents, all these white vice presidents. We could do whatever we want to these niggas. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Well, things are happening at a rapido pace. Rapido. You know what I mean? Yeah, to try to prove his loyalty. God. He said, never mind. I can't. It's PG. It's PG. PG. I'm gonna chill.
I'm trying to hold back as much as I can, kid.
I'm sorry. All right, Khan. You can bring that out, King.
Khan, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Khan. And that's a two-part. You thought you was gonna be a lady forever. Like you really on some you mean? Like boys ain't supposed to do that, Damon. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again.
You're not supposed to be doing that.
What dance is this?
There's something wrong with you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's and no wonder why, you know, he's so adamant about you know, I can't stand him and this, that, and the third. He broke your heart. I mean, Lewinsky came back in the picture. He's like, who is she? You know what I'm saying? Oh boy. Yeah. So these things are happening. Okay. This is happening. This we're on the ground with this. This is really going on. Government's falling apart. Your president is on his knees. Where else could we go from here? Let's go to some spiritual butt whoopings, if you will. All right. Tucker Carlson. Let's go to let's watch the video. Matter of fact, no, not the video yet. Put on Psalm 35 and verse 6, and then we'll play the video. You know what I mean? Tucker Carlson, very vocal. He, you know, anything happened. Oh, so now we're rioting because a drug user named George Floyd wants to use drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like they really sat there in our face was like and saying that he died of a drug overdose while this man had his knee on his neck for 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like we're watching it. It was all on TV, on the internet. Like, oh well, he had drugs in his system. So anything that they do, they make an excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? And they are the voice. They are the media. Do you know what I'm saying? So the ability to switch narratives. Candace Owens said the same thing. He called Lucas called her Candace Owens. Said the same thing. You know what I mean? He's on drugs. And anything that had to do with a racial element, Tucker Carlson definitely exploited it. You know what I'm saying? He was talked for days and weeks over something that allegedly Jake did, as opposed to Epstein files or stuff that Esau was doing. You know what I mean? Starting wars in Ukraine, things of that nature, giving all our tax dollars to bombs, you know what I mean, other countries. They don't really talk too much about that, but when it comes to the racial element of the news, they exploit that. So what happened to Tucker Carlson? Let's bring that out in Psalm 35 and 6.
Come, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 35 and verse 6. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them.
So the angel of the Lord visited Tucker Carlson. He's still alive though, but he got judged. Let's check out the video. It's real quick. It's a couple, you know, like 30-second video, but it gets to the point. Esau ain't safe nowhere. You dig?
The presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to you? Oh, yeah. I had a direct experience with it. In the milieu of journalism or just? Nope, in my bed.
at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed, and mauled, physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon, or by something unseen that left.
Is that right?
Claw marks on my sides, on my.
So he left physical marks.
Oh, they're still there. Yeah. Year and a half ago.
New
details in.
Oh, we'll get to that as well. Let's get Deuteronomy 32 and verse 35. You know what I mean? How many times? Listen, it must be tough to go to sleep if you woke up and there was claw marks on your side. I mean, man, that had to hurt too, right?
Let's be a decent human being, I guess.
Yeah, that's what demons do. They just claw you on your side with your dogs. Your dogs all running out in the street and all the dirt. They say, "Hey, come on, get in bed, you dirtball." Sleeping with your 4 dogs and your wife. So I guess that's 5 dogs. Boom, you know what I mean? So Tucker, being the demon that he is, ran into, you know what I mean, met his match that day. But all praise to the Most High, because he'll get you back. Keep talking, funny guy. You know what I'm saying? Are you a comedian, Tucker Carlson? The Most High is the master of ceremonies. He will make a joke out of anything. You know what I'm saying? You getting scratched up, he's gonna laugh at your calamities. Go ahead, Ken. You could bring it out.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 35. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste.
God, ain't nobody got to touch Tucker Carlson. The Most High sent out an evil angel, ran up in his bed, cut him up, and then he had to go to work the next day. You know what I'm saying? He had to move on from that. How do you move on from getting cut up by a daggone demon in the nighttime?
That's right.
How many pills does he take just to get to sleep? And wash him down with a bottle of cheap vodka? Tucker's in bad shape, man. You know? Ain't nobody praying for Tucker. We pray that it keeps on going. That is the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushai. God will revenge. God will take care of him. You know what I mean? Messing up, he barking up the wrong tree. You know, should have left the Israelites alone. But, you know, pumping their head up, Most High using them all like Pharaoh, you know, and keep on going with that same energy. Now, though, he's kind of dialed back a little bit. You know, he talks about Israel, the Israelis in Israel, and, you know, less about Jake. But at the same time, he's still the same demon he was. All right. So now we have heathen civil wars. Now we're talking about the descent. We're in the descent time now. Before it's like, this is why they're doing this, they're doing that. Now it's descending. It's not coming back up. We're sinking further and further down into the pit. Esau is sinking further and further down into the pit. We've been in the pit. We've been in hell. Esau is coming on down. We're coming up. All right, so let's get 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 27. Because now, like we're going to read, like in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, our enemies are fighting each other. We're reading scriptures, we're following the feast days, we're following the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability, and sitting still and knowing that the Most High is taking care of business. All right. Let's bring that out, King.
Khan, this is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 20 and verse 27. Then they returned, every man of Judah and Jerusalem, and Jehoshaphat in the forefront of them, to go again to Jerusalem with joy. For the Lord have made them to rejoice over their enemies.
So let's keep in mind, right? When our enemies fall, we're not like praying for them, like, oh man, please get back up, Esau. Oppress us some more, Ishmael. You know, because when Charlie Kirk was through talking out the side of his neck, people were like, yo, why y'all happy that this happened to him? Because we always been like that. We always been partying.
Right.
We always been about that cherry on top, because we always get the last laugh.
That's right.
All our feast days is pretty much aligned with the destruction of our enemies. These are feast days. So at this time, boom, you know what I mean? We came back, you know what I mean? Had a little music blast. You know how we do, right? Having a good time. Give me verse 28.
Verse 28. And they came to Jerusalem with psalms, psalmistries, and harps, and trumpets unto the house of the Lord.
We got music. Our music blasting. You know, we be riding around blasting music out of our car. We was blasting. We had trumpets, psalteries, playing our music and stuff and things of that nature, right? Because our enemies end up destroying each other. We didn't even have to fight. We spent more time taking the goods off of them. Like, yo, what you got? Tap your pockets like Debo. You know what I'm saying? I got $200. Grabbing everything that we good. You know what I'm saying? Read next verse.
And the fear of Yahweh was on all the kingdoms of those countries, when they had heard that the Lord fought against the enemies of Israel.
Okay, so then that fear starts coming in. You know what I mean? They all ain't got it yet. You see the bots, they always talking crazy to stand a third, but of course, you don't hear about them a lot. You don't hear the same bots hopping up on the lives. You know what I'm saying? Where'd they go? Like, you know what I mean? It's like a bird flapping its wings, you know, like that little cutting of the air. Nobody thinks about that no more.
Right.
Like spittle falling from a vessel. Nobody care about that spittle no more. They ain't here no more. You know? So it's really like just leading them in. Like, yeah, you come in here and start talking crazy on the lives, start talking wild and this, that, and the third. And then you get that Tucker Carlson treatment. You start getting demons cutting you up. You know what I'm saying? Or you might be working for the National Guard and some CIA agent from Afghanistan puts a hole in your head. Yo, man, stranger things have happened, and they're actually happening right now. So let's play that next the next video. I'm not sure how long it is. Let me see. For the sake of time, I don't think we're going to have to watch the whole thing. Oh, it's not that long. Okay, yeah, let's play the next video regarding what happened in DC. Remember, they was running up on Jake one day. What you smoking? What's that? Cigarette? You got weed? You got warrants? Jake's like, yo, I'm sitting on my steps. Yo, don't talk about it. Chasing brothers down the street. Y'all remember that? That wasn't that long ago. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, dad, go on, Jake. You know, Jake kind of like Jake be in his bag. He might pull the thing on him. You know what I'm saying? But then that would have added on more troops, more scrutiny to our neighborhoods, this, that, and the third. Most High said, no, y'all chill. I got this. Let me get the CIA agent Heathen to do it. So, boom. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's play that video. Check out what happened in D.C. by the White House.
The deadly National Guard ambush investigation. Ramanullah Lakanawal of Afghanistan facing murder in the first degree after 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom died from gunshot wounds sustained when he allegedly opened fire on her and her fellow West Virginia national to mourn Beckstrom, along with a solemn honor escort near the U.S. Capitol. Wolf, who is only 24, remains at a D.C. area hospital with serious wounds.
Andrew is fighting for his life right now.
The FBI has interviewed family and associates of the 29-year-old suspect and tried to exploit documents and other material obtained through searches of mobile devices, his social media footprint, and properties tied to him.
We believe he could have been radicalized in his home community and in his home state.
But thus far, authorities have not publicly released any specific evidence tying the suspect to a specific terrorist organization. And while the investigation into potential terrorism ties remains active, officials say they're also seeing signs of financial stress and a potential mental health crisis. Sources telling ABC News Laka Nawal was vetted by and worked with the CIA during the war in Afghanistan. He was brought into the U.S. under the Biden administration in 2021 through the program Operation Allies Welcome and was granted asylum by the Trump administration in April. Armed Forces sources telling ABC News he was unemployed and deeply impacted by the death of one of his Afghan commanders. Sources say in recent days he had been isolated and increasingly distant from family and friends. The suspect remains hospitalized under heavy guard. In the wake of the attack, President Trump has halted all asylum applications.
So, Mark, are there
All right.
any mythical creatures you think exist in?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that too. You know what I'm saying? So let's get Obadiah verse 16. So noticed they come from those National Guards come from West Virginia. West Virginia, that's like that whole state's like a sundown town. You know what I mean? And somebody that works for the CIA came and aired them out in Washington, D.C. You know what I mean? That's not normal. Okay, before we go any further, that doesn't happen every day. That's something that's international news, you know? So the descent of not only Esau, the heathen, he said he had spirits on him, Mark. Man, spirits. He said he's dealing with mental illness. Nigga, you was a CIA agent. You should be, they should have set you up pretty good. You come in here, they automatically give you a job, automatically give you free, tax-free housing, all that. But the Most High put those spirits on him, and they have no idea. They said he got radicalized, what they call it, radicalized here in America. He probably got tired of people calling him Habib and, asked him if he go to the quickie market. He's like, you know what? I'm about to air something out. And I think he drove there, obviously with that intention, you know what I mean? And then they shot him up. So it's really like the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Our enemies destroying each other. Go ahead, King. You can bring it out.
Khan, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
You know what I mean? They got to drink that cup of affliction. And it's kind of like nobody even cares. Like, you know what I'm saying? That happened a couple of days ago. People are like, all right, what else is new? So the Most High just systematically taking them out, you know what I mean, one by one, just destroying them and allowing trauma to now pass through their communities and their families. Curses from us to you. So they're gonna have to drink that cup of affliction, man. You know what I'm saying? Take some shots, pour it up. The heathens are going through a heathen civil war. Beautiful time, because normally Jake is in the streets. Oh, we got to protest this and protest that. Even Jake that's not in the truth is like, nah, y'all got it. You know what I mean? You go right ahead. And we just sit there prophesying, reading the scriptures. Nowadays, it's like, I say it all the time, it's like shooting a fish in a barrel, because the things that we're reading on the paper is happening in the news.
That's right.
It don't get no easier than this. At one point in time, the elders 30 years ago was like, there's UFOs out there and there's black men in those UFOs. And they're like, you people are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have scientists coming out like, yeah, they were like 7 feet tall and black. She said dark,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not dark, black.
Not dark.
Yeah. He said they're black. He said really black. Put his
Like-
hand up to his mouth like, I'm scared to death.
Like Middle Eastern?
God,
Middle Eastern?
maybe like an olive.
No, black.
Black.
That's right.
God. And we're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about the beast mode. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28. Because along with the spiritual, right? And don't get me wrong, what we're about to talk about is very spiritual. But when I talk about spiritual, meaning like the spirit, like you can't see with Tucker Carlson. If the evil angel doesn't want you to see what it looks like, you're not going to see it. You're just going to get scratched up. You know what I mean? You can't fight something you can't see, you can't touch. But there's other anomalies, if you will, beast, if you will, that you can see, and they are very much tied to so-called UFOs, to the chariots. And we'll talk about that at length in a moment. Let's get to the scripture first. 39 verse 28, Bubba Shaw.
Khan, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Khan. Okay, so just for vengeance. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not to be in the zoo. You know what I mean? Not to be a spectacle, not to have a 24-hour webcam watching them. No, just for vengeance. That's it. All right, let's continue on. Verse 29.
Verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
So they're coming with fire, hail, famine, death. You know what I mean? All created for vengeance. Go ahead.
Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
So the wicked think that, oh, nobody's going to bother us. All we have to do is worry about Russia. You know what I'm saying? All we got to do is not make Russia upset so nuclear missiles don't fly. You know, just a little at a time. You know what I mean? We'll give Ukraine Tomahawk missiles, come back a little bit, maybe give some tanks, but we have a little back. That little, you know, it's a little, the war games they're playing over there. They're looking at that as the only thing that can mess them up. But what they don't realize is there's some things on this planet and in this country that they don't need a visa to get over here.
That's right.
They're already here. You know what I'm saying? And at one point in time, people think they're myths, you know, made up, this, then the third, but that's not the case. Okay. Esau is very, very good at being a devil, psychological warfare, psychological tricks, right? It's to the point where most people don't even believe in the chariots, even though there's plenty of video evidence and this, that, and the third, you know, eyewitness accounts. They don't believe in that because of the disinformation campaign that Esau's been leading the way in for about like 70 years, 80 years, or however long. But some people are realizing that, you know, they've been lying. They've been lied to. What this next video we're going to talk about is what our ancestors would call Sasquatch. Keep in mind, when our ancestors were roaming this area and talking about Sasquatch, there were no TVs, right? There was no Harry and the Hendersons. It was nothing for them like us, right? Because if you mention Sasquatch, or the modern day term would be Bigfoot, People say, "Oh, that's crazy. That's not true." But you got to ask yourself, what was the first time that I was introduced to Bigfoot or Sasquatch? What the first thing? What was it? Was it a cartoon when you were like 10? Was it Harry and Henderson's when you were in your teens? Do you know what I'm saying? When you start thinking about it, you're like, damn, yeah, that's a white man lie. You know what I'm saying? Because he had to tell you that, that this isn't true, or had like a spin on it where you think it's not legit, but it's very much true. You know what I'm saying? And I recommend if you have Prime, Amazon Prime, or whatever the app is, it's a documentary called the Bigfoot UFO Connection, or something to that effect, right? You type in Bigfoot and UFO, you'll see this documentary pop up, and you get like firsthand accounts. And they talk to Gad, and Gad's like, "Yo, of course we believe in them. Like, you know what I mean? It's nothing not to believe in. You know what I mean? The only people that don't think that this is true is people that have been lied to through propaganda." You know what I'm saying? He's like, very much real. And when you get to the stories, he don't like Esau. You know what I'm saying? You have stories where Esau's walking through the woods and he throw a tree at him. And Esau like, it was a smell, it was a musty smell. I never smelled it before. And then a tree almost hit me. So I ran back to my car, and he makes it back home to tell the story. How many people get hit by that tree or get hit by a boulder and they can't tell the story? A lot. That's why you look at the Missing 411 documentaries, Esau is always coming up missing in these woods. Whether it's him, his children, or whoever, they be getting jacked up in the forest. Okay. So I don't want y'all to be like, Bigfoot, I don't know about that. Well, I want you to do some research. All right. Come on. We gotta be wise in all matters, large and small.
That's right.
Khan, go ahead, Ken. You could play it.
So, Mark, are there any mythical creatures you think exist in the world?
I'm always kind of interested.
Okay, but
UFOs,
UFOs, aliens,
and what we're getting to, yes,
yeah,
creatures.
You are a
Loch
believer?
Ness Monster.
Okay. Well, the world famous Bigfoot this week. Researchers with the Bigfoot Field Research Organization wrote a report on the incident. Okay, Mark. So according to the witness in the report, the alleged Sasquatch crossed the busy highway around 5:30 on October 4th, about 11 miles northeast of Bellefonte, near Bald Eagle State Park. The witness claims the dark figure was human-like, taller than the vehicle in front of him, and seen all in about 3 seconds. That's pretty fast. 2 others reported seeing something that day as well. One says he's an avid hunter who said even with 50 plus years in the woods, he doesn't know what he saw, but it wasn't a bear. So Mark, after that, do you believe?
I'm kind of scared to head out to I-80. I travel that road a lot in that very area, sometimes early in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one of these Bigfoot just running across the road. And that's a pretty dangerous road to cross too.
Yeah, no thank you. I don't need that excited in my life.
No, so like Bigfoot, he's out in the woods. In terms of weather, what does he need to know for tonight?
Con, we're good.
Well, I think he has a big furry coat.
Get wet?
Get underneath one of those evergreens, conifers, and so that'll keep.
So, put this out there because it's gonna be a point in time where they're not gonna be in the woods. The lights are gonna go out. Do you know what I mean? That's when vengeance really starts, and then they're gonna be walking around bashing, eating mice heads. They're already run the forest. They already run the woods. But soon they'll be walking up and down the streets, and that's something that it's going to be a pleasure to see. Can you read verse 31, King? Because they're ready to go too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Con. So I implore y'all Israelites to look into this, because if you haven't seen the Missing 411 documentaries, you can watch them on YouTube. I'm pretty sure for the most there's 3 of them, and they might all be free at this point. I'm not sure, but one's about hunters, one's about Edomites' children getting snatched up, and the last one is about quote unquote UFOs. And I will watch them in that order. Watch the UFO one last, so you can really get the concept of what's going on and how the Most High is really destroying this man on all cylinders. Okay. Speaking of cylinders,
Khan, Shalakia, King.
Khan.
Now I'm reading that story just to give a little bit more right now. I'm reading what's it saying right now about that story, that the one witness, I don't know if it said it, but it said it continued by saying what shook him was the way the creature moved across the highway. Not quick or jerky like a sprinter, but fast and smooth, almost seemed to glide across the lanes. It was said that the figure crossed the highway in about 3 seconds, like they said.
3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Chase you down. And the thing about it, right? A lot of people, when they if you haven't done any research on Sasquatch, they say like, okay, it's like an animal, like a like a gorilla or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people have seen chariots in the area and then seen Sasquatch, and then seen chariots. So it's almost like we understand what's it called? Star Wars, where they had Chewbacca, and they always, you know what I mean? Like not Frank Lucas, what's his name? That made Frank Lucas. I can't think of that guy's name. That made Star Wars. Whatever his name is. They're in the know. Do you know what I mean? They have classified reports, declassified to them, or they talk to ex-CIA agents, ex-FBI agents that know about these things, and they put them in a movie. You know what I mean? So it looks like, what you been watching? You tell somebody this, and they say, "What have you been watching? Star Wars or something?" So it just kind of like takes the wind out the sails that this is something that is only in movies. But having Chewbacca on the spaceships, and you know what I mean, it just kind of gives a level of reality when you actually read the classified or declassified material. You know what I'm saying?
George Lucas,
Thawada, Frank Lucas. Oh. Not Frank. That's right. George Lucas, Thawada King.
Yeah, the bar.
So it's something to look forward to. Okay. And to not be afraid, you know what I mean, if you found the lost statute commandments. Now, if you still in your bag and like, I'm sinning, I'm loving life, and I'm keep doing what I'm doing, and then you got Sasquatch show up, that's not somebody you want to fight, you know. He don't lose. For instance, right? Remember what year was that at Tabernacles? And we could hear the calling out at like 2 a.m. while we're sitting outside. It was very eerie. It was spiritual and very eerie, because we felt like a cold wind come by.
Yep.
Everything got quiet. Everybody noticed it too. We like, you hear any crickets or birds or anything like that? It got really quiet, and then you start hearing these whoop noises that echoed throughout the whole woods, and we already knew what it was. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's serious. And then Elder Zabak, he had a shirt on, or I think he had like a shirt or a vest, and it had like a chariot on it. And he went to a store. He was telling the story a month ago, maybe a couple months ago. And then one of the Edomites in there like, oh, yeah, you know, there's Bigfoot around here. So how that Edomite associate Bigfoot with seeing the chariot on the elder's garments? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Esau knows. We just the ones that we ain't catch up yet. But it's legit. It's legit. Now, something else that hopefully we are paying attention to, or if not, we're gonna talk about it today. 3-Eye Atlas. I like to call it Third Eye Atlas. Do you Sasquatch should be the being lineage of Cain or a demon? I think Sasquatch is just a spirit. I mean, you know, like a used from the Most High. It's physical, right? But just used for vengeance. You know what I mean? I don't think he has any type of lineage close to us. You know, it's just like a Leviathan. You know what I mean? Leviathan's used in the end to completely destroy things. That's what I believe Sasquatch is used for as well. And right now he's destroying Esau in these woods, you know, these state parks. Very dangerous at night. And a lot of times when we had, you know, tabernacles, these Edomites would get up and run in the middle of the night because something spooks them. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's from any type of lineage. All right. So let's get on to 3-Eye Atlas, like I call Third Eye Atlas right now. Right now, we're being flanked. The Earth is being flanked by two alleged comets. I'm gonna go quote unquote 2 interstellar objects on either side of us right now as we speak. CNN ain't talking about it. MSNBC ain't talking about it, but we gonna talk about it, okay? Because this is the destruction of Esau, and it's happening in real time, okay? He's gonna have to sit in the dust. Let's go to Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 1. Bubba Sharp.
Con, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2, starting from the top. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is night at hand.
Con. It should be something scary, and a lot of people are scared to the point where they're not talking about it. They're purposely missing out on this. You know what I'm saying? NASA, ironically, right around the time where the government shut down was the time that 3-Eye Atlas was going past Mars, and they have a satellite up around there, and they did not want to show what they, you know, the pictures that they took. It took a month. They showed the pictures. It was a little cloudy and like, you know, this. It looked like somebody took a picture of a street lamp, a street light in fog. When people on the ground with telescopes have taken much better pictures of this object, right? And they had this big, you know, all right, we're going to show you that. We're going to show you the pictures and this, that, and the third. So when they showed the pictures, they'd keep saying, yes, this comet right here, it's a comet. You know, they didn't talk about any of the anomalies that surround this comet, alleged comet, how the tail is in the front when the tail's supposed to be in the back, and a whole bunch of other things. If you've been following, then you already know this ain't no daggone comet. Now there's another one called R2 Swan that's on the other side of the Earth. So they said, is this like a flanking motion Like if you know anything about brothers have been in the military, how you're going to close in on the enemy. That's how you do it. And that's what's happening right now. Okay. Let's read verse 2.
Verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many nations. Salakia, many generations.
So what is this 3-eye atlas? It's coming from outside our solar system. It's on an ecliptical plane that the chances of it being a natural object and falling on that plane is like 1 in a million chance. You know what I'm saying? They said if it speeds up during its perihelion going around the sun, then obviously this is something that is not natural. And guess what? It's sped up. You know what I'm saying? So all the things that they were saying, if this happens, then it's not natural, has been happening. Okay? They say now it has like a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's President Ezekiel. You know what I mean? It's like, it's alive. Okay? There's jets coming out of it. You can see the jets. You take the picture, they're going to show on this. You look at the picture of the jets coming out of it. If it's tumbling, you shouldn't see those jets that clear. It should just be a big circle, right? Imagine if you have like I'll say like a water balloon, right? And if you can make a pin, you put the tape on the water balloon and hit a pin, and then the water will come out in like a jet stream. If you flip it like this, you're not going to see those jets coming so straight. They're all going to be tumbled up. You know what I mean? This is not a comet. And what is it doing? If it's not a comet, then what is it? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? If you think it's anything else, I like to hear it. I believe that it's a chariot. Now, what is it doing? They're saying that it's not by itself. They're saying that the light in front of it, which it shouldn't have, right, is actually full of other chariots. So this is something to look into. You know what I mean? Esau will throw some curveballs and try to, look over here. You know what I mean? But it's something that we got to keep up because it's going to be closest to the Earth on December 19th. We got some time. You know what I mean? But is it dropping off of the chariots? Probably. Is it going to turn towards the Earth? I don't know. But when it goes to Jupiter, it's going to go to Jupiter, I think in March or something like that. It'll reach Jupiter. It will then be in a position in Jupiter's atmosphere or gravitational pull, rather. Then if it drops anything off in Jupiter, it will be like a satellite now in Jupiter's gravitational pull, which the chances of this happening is unbelievably low by natural causes. Okay. But we're going to check out the video. Let me get, matter of fact, you read verse 3 and then we'll get to the video.
Verse 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
A fire before them and behind them. And you're gonna see that in this video. Go ahead, Ken. You can play the video.
New images of 3-eye atlas show jets pulsating every 16. That pattern might not be coming from where scientists assumed it was. As always, I'm here to report the information without bias, and you can decide what to believe. You can find the sources in my detailed articles at ufonews.co, along with in the description box below. Hey, ufologists, I'm Christina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. In the latest article published by Dr. Avi Loeb, he is asking a big question. Are the jets from 3I Atlas pulsating like a heartbeat? Before we get into that, we need to discuss what Avi Loeb calls one of the most significant anomalies yet. Here's what he said in a recent interview with Dobsonian Power.
Well, the Lagrange points, they are the points where there is perfect balance between the gravity of the sun and the gravity of Jupiter. And, around the Earth, we have the Lagrange points L1 and L2, where we usually place instruments because there is very little course correction or fuel requirement to keep a device in those points. And so the same is true about Jupiter. The Lagrange points would be a very good place to put some devices.
For those unfamiliar, the Hill radius is the boundary where a planet's gravity dominates over the sun's gravity. According to Dr. Loeb's calculations published on Medium, 3I Atlas is on the course to arrive at Jupiter at precisely this distance. If you want to deploy satellites or probes around Jupiter that could remain in stable orbit, the Lagrange points at the Hill radius are exactly where we need them. These are located where orbital connect and fuel requirements are minimal.
Now, I found that by chance that this is to 4 significant digits a perfect match between the perigove, the distance of closest approach of Jupiter, and the Hill radius. And I wrote about it an essay on medium.com, and then I also sent the link to that essay to Davide Fornaccio, who is updating the dataset of JPL, NASA's website on 3I Atlas. And I pointed out to him, look, this is an amazing coincidence thanks to the numbers that you have on the JPL Horizons website. And he did not respond. And 2 days later, the numbers in the website were changed.
After Loeb pointed out the Hill radius coincidence, the numbers on NASA's JPL website were changed in 2 major ways. First, a key measurement called A1, which tracks how much the object speeds up or slows down from forces other than gravity, was reduced to almost 1/10 of what it was before. Second, they switched the formula they use to predict how the object behaves as it gets closer to or farther from the sun, going from a model based on water ice to one based on carbon dioxide, which behaves very differently.
I found it really peculiar that as soon as I alerted the JPL Horizons for the coincidence, the numbers were revised.
Loeb was also asked about a second object that has caught his attention, R2 Swan, which he believes could be on the borderline of being an interstellar object as well. And what makes this interesting is how this relates to 3I Atlas.
The other, major difference is that it's almost perpendicular to the ecliptic plane. So it goes in a completely different orbital plane than 3I Atlas. And perhaps there is a reason for having 2 planes being perpendicular to each other. So it's definitely worth monitoring and checking if there are any additional anomalies associated with it.
Think about that for a moment. We have 3I Atlas traveling along the ecliptic plane where all other planets orbit, and these objects being perpendicular from each other can be seen as a pincer maneuver, which is a very common military tactic. Now let's go back to the latest findings about those pulsating jets. When 3I Atlas was first detected on July 1st of this year, astronomers noticed its light wasn't steady. It was pulsating with a period of 16.16 hours. The brightness was shifting by tens of % with each cycle. Initially, researchers assumed this was caused by the nucleus of the object spinning, and they thought we were seeing an elongated body tumbling through space. But Avi Loeb says that explanation doesn't work. Based on the Hubble Space Telescope images from July 21st, most of the light that we see from 3I Atlas is not coming from the solid nucleus. It is coming from the coma, which is the glowing halo of gas and dust surrounding it. As noted in a study published in Astronomy and Astrophysics back in August, the nucleus might be as small as 2.8 kilometers. If that's true, the nucleus reflects less than 1% of the total light at certain wavelengths. Loeb proposes a different explanation. The pulsating light is not coming from the nucleus rotating, but it's coming from the jets themselves pulsating periodically, pumping material into the coma like a heartbeat. So let me ask you this. Is it just a coincidence that this object is headed to the exact location where it would be most efficient to release something near Jupiter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
If you have a situation with technological device, you would expect more than one. And very often one is used for distracting attention from the other one. And so this happens quite a lot. So we should keep our eyes open and get as much data on this one as well, I think.
Per insights from the International Asteroid Warning Network website, we will have much better data soon. This network has launched a campaign running from November 27th through January 27th of 2026. Hundreds of telescopes around the world will be observing 3I Atlas. So what does this pulsating heartbeat pattern actually tell us? Loeb outlines two scenarios in his new article. If 3I Atlas is a natural comet, the pulsating could come from a large pocket of ice on one side of the nucleus. Each time that ice pocket faces the sun, it sublimates and creates a jet. The coma gets pumped up like a heartbeat every 16.16 hours. But here is the key point. If the object is natural, those jets would point in the direction of the sun, because that is what causes the ice to sublimate. For a technological object, the direction would be arbitrary. It would not need to align with the sun at all. The next few weeks will be critical for collecting more data on this object.
3I Atlas will get closest to Earth on December 19th. So I'm really hoping we will get a lot of data, and the 27th of January, and there will be hundreds of telescopes around the globe looking at 3I Atlas. So hopefully we learn much more about it from this data, and the upcoming month should be quite exciting.
Then on March 16th of next year, it will pass Jupiter at precisely the Hill radius distance. NASA's Juno spacecraft will be searching for low-frequency radio signals during that encounter, which in itself is a big deal. What do you think explains the heartbeat pattern in the jets? Is it natural ice pockets, or could there be another explanation? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm Christina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST for another.
So that's a good YouTube channel to check out, Christina Gomez. But let's keep in mind, right? We're about to go to war with Venezuela. The United States is about to bomb Venezuela. So when this goes on, possibly China might jump in. Russia has their back, even though Russia's dealing with their situation over there in Ukraine. So this can get ugly quick. Russia just, I won't say threatened. Yeah, pretty much threatened Europe, saying like, we're ready to go to war with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you willing to do? So I threw in that last part, but they pretty much said they're ready to go to war with Europe. So as all this is transpiring, this might just get lost in the background. Like, don't worry about no comet. The gas prices are sky high, and Venezuela had some people maybe in the United States that can affect the flow of commerce. You know what I'm saying? Because if you bomb them, then I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to bomb this country. So things can go left really quick. So this is something just to keep in mind, that while things are transpiring with war and I'm not even calling them distractions, but prophecy taking place, then at that time there is an interstellar object hurtling towards Earth. You know what I'm saying? Or the closest it's going to get is going to be far, but the closest is going to be on December 19th. And there's still other alleged I'm not even calling them comets. There's still other interstellar objects in our solar system right now. So things can get kind of crazy. Let's continue on with Joel 2, and let's go to verse 4.
God, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 4. The appearance of them is at the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Khan, go ahead.
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble. as a strong people set in battle array.
So this is some wartime tactics going on. Like she said, it's like a pitter maneuver. Like you got one R2 Swan and 3-Eye Atlas on the east side of the earth. You know what I mean? Kind of like closing in on a little bit. And gonna devour like stubble. What is it saying in Obadiah? Esau's gonna be like stubble. Okay, somebody gonna have to burn. Go ahead, verse 6.
Okay. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness.
Read on.
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks.
This reminds me of the like the guy that said when the chariot landed at the air base and there was an earthquake and they all came out, they all had weapons of war and they looked like conquerors. They looked like they said they conquered most of the solar system. There are people that just don't lose. So this 3-Eye Atlas, it is 33 tons. You know what I mean? It's bigger than Manhattan. It's like the size of Manhattan. So what is on there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is on there and why is it so wild? And why is NASA trying to hide all the information? If this was a blue beam situation, I talked about it before, this was a blue beam situation, they got to talk about it. They got to rev people up and get ready and anticipate. Most people you talk about, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Avi Loeb, he talks to people online and like amateur astronomers. So this isn't big news. It should be though. Can you read the next verse 8?
Verse 8. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
It's something that you should be afraid of. You know what I mean? Like, fear God and keep the commandments. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They come in to destroy. You know what I mean? When this scripture is talking about, they come in to destroy. Whether 3-Eye Atlas is talking about this, the Lord knows. But you gotta think about it. It's something you gotta definitely consider. Ezekiel 9:4, like you want to have that mark where they just pass you and then go destroy everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself in a spot where the Lord says not him. You know what I mean? Not her. Seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, last video, last scriptures. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 22. All right, this is curse breakers. Now, of course, this is a play on words. The Most High is the one that can take this curse off us. You know what I mean? Sending his son back for our salvation. You know what I mean? That they're the ones that are going to change this for us. Okay. But one thing we got to consider is that he said he will loosen up the yoke around our neck. You know what I'm saying? These last days. Like, we're not literally in hard bondage like our ancestors were, working in the field from sun up to sundown and getting beat in that aspect. Now, some of us that are working in the field, you know what I mean? And there are some of our brothers and sisters that come over here from 10 tribes, you know what I mean? And they were enslaved in Georgia. So it's not saying slavery doesn't exist. We all know about the 13th Amendment, that part of slavery. If you're locked up, you're still going to be working in the field and being a slave. Get all that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, all praise to the Most High that in this scripture that we have, which talks about information, there are things that we now know that we can get online or in the store or whatever that can help. You know what I'm saying? So it's really the mercy of the Most High. So this isn't, I call it curse breakers, but it's the mercy of the Most High of allowing us into, learn more. Not saying our ancestors didn't know, you know what I mean? But for us coming out of slavery and learning these things all over again, there's things that actually can heal our body. You know what I mean? Let's bring that out, King. 28 and verse 22.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption. Salaki, consumption.
Consumption.
And with a fever. And with inflammation. And with an extreme burning. And with the sword. And with blasting. And with mildew. And they shall pursue thee until you perish.
Khan. So,
Salaki.
So the information is what I wanted to talk about, because information, it affects a large majority of us. You know what I'm saying? Different parts of your body dealing with information can get adversely affect you. You know what I'm saying? Information in your bones, the heart, inflammation. He's going to talk about this in the next video, and there's also ways to deal with that. Okay, let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 15. So there's natural remedies that we can take to help ourselves deal with pain and disease. You know what I'm saying? This is not medical information or what's it called? Medical advice. You know what I mean? Consult your doctors. You know, you got to say that. But also you got to keep in mind that we are wise enough, right, to know that the doctor doesn't know everything, right? And I'm explaining to you how I know this, right? We all live in the same world, right? Because you be watching TV late at night, they're like, if you took this medicine, then you might have some money for, you know what I mean? A class action lawsuit, you know. If your leg fell off after taking this medicine, you'd be like, damn, like 5 minutes ago, your doctor's like, yes, this is the best thing for you. I recommend it to all my patients. And come to find out, they have like $1 billion lawsuit under their belt. You know what I mean? So it's some things that are just tried and tested that they don't want you to know about because it messes up their bottom line. They lose money. You know what I mean? In psychology, it was a test that, experiment rather, that a guy wearing a white coat, wasn't a doctor, you know what I'm saying? All you had to do is put on a white coat, and the people come in, they're like, all right, I need you to press this button every time this person gets a wrong answer, and they'll get a small electric shock, and, no big deal. So the person will hit the button. It's back when, ethics is out the window. They didn't care. Press the button. The person's getting like a shock. And he's like, you hear him crying and everything. And then the guy was like, yo, are we sure we should be doing this? Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's not a huge electric shock. This, that, and the third. But you could hear the guy crying out in pain. But what they noticed was just because he had the white coat on, wasn't a doctor, and they perceived that he knew what he was talking about, they were damn near electrocuting old boy in the next room. You know what I'm saying? So they know they can get at you through the medical field. You know what I mean? I read a meme the other day, said, it was like a video. Sis was like, the same reason Edomite women choose to be nurses is the same reason Edomite men choose to be officers.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? They don't, if they ain't feeling you, they're like, yo, I get to, like the boys that we were watching in the beginning, the Edomites that I want to go and take all the men out and have all the women. Like, that mind state isn't just subjected to them. That's what cops are like. Yo, I get to be a cop and I get to do this to them and have all the power I want. I get to be a nurse and I don't like these black women, with their nails and their eyelashes, and I get to do whatever I want to them. And you know what I'm saying? So we can't be naive that this is going on. That's my whole point. All right. Go ahead, Ken. You can bring that out. Ecclesiasticus 30 and 15.
Con, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold.
Con.
And a strong body above infinity wealth.
There you go. You know what I mean? So that health is crucial. You know, Steve Jobs, ask Steve Jobs, wealth don't buy health. Okay. All right, let's put on the next video and we'll end there.
Today, I want to talk about the fascinating. Today, we'll unravel its potential benefits, particularly in the role of reducing inflammation and supporting your overall health. So first, let's explore what makes castor oil such a unique and powerful ingredient. It's extracted from the seeds of the Ricinus communis plant, which is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. And when it's applied topically, will help alleviate your pain, it will reduce your swelling by inhibiting the production of pro-inflammatory molecules. And this is what makes castor oil such a popular choice for those seeking natural relief from conditions like arthritis, sore muscles, joint pain, inflammation, swollen lymph nodes, and the list goes on. Physiologically, castor oil works by increasing lymphatic flow, which plays a crucial role in the body's detoxification process. And by enhancing lymphatic drainage, castor oil helps remove those toxins and waste from those tissues, potentially reducing that inflammation and promoting healing. Additionally, it improves circulation. It aids in the reduction of swelling and discomfort. And if you're having chronic inflammation, this is something you might want to consider. But the wonders of castor oil don't stop there. It also is renowned for its skin-enhancing properties. The moisturizing abilities of castor oil soothes dry and irritated skin. It promotes a healthy and vibrant complexion. And its antimicrobial properties make it useful for combating acne-causing bacteria, leading to clearer skin over time. And beyond the inflammation and skin health, castor oil has shown promise in other areas. It's reputed to boost hair health, encouraging the growth of added shine by nourishing the scalp and strengthening those hair follicles. Those struggling with occasional constipation might find relief with castor oil's mild laxative effect when used judiciously. And it's important to note, however, that while castor oil offers numerous benefits, it should be used wisely. Always conduct a patch test before applying it extensively to the skin, and consult a healthcare professional if you're considering using it for internal health benefits. And in summary, castor oil is a versatile natural remedy with a multitude of health benefits. Its unique composition and physiological effects makes it a valuable addition to anyone's wellness routine. Whether you're looking to soothe your sore muscles, enhance your skin, reduce inflammation, or explore any other type of health benefit, castor oil just might be the secret ingredient you've been searching for.
Okay, so last scripture. Let me get Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 and verse 4. Right? Because remember back in the day, you know what I'm saying? What, your mom, you not feeling good, put some castor oil on it. You know what I mean? It was like Tussin. You use castor oil for everything. Constipated, have some castor oil. You know what I mean? Rub it on your chest, go to sleep. You know what I mean? It was like, but and it's not that expensive. You know what I mean? Now, I read somewhere that you want to get the castor oil that's in a bottle rather than the plastic bottle. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, so is people that they say something with the plastic that it ain't good. You know what I mean? The bottle's better, and like organic, obviously. You know what I mean? So you might pay like $15 for a bottle or something, but you ain't gonna go through that bottle too fast because it's it's thick. You know what I mean? It's something that you will have for a while. But think about it. You can go to any drugstore and get castor oil at one point in time, and now it's not really like that. If you go into like a CVS, Walmart, whatever, it'd be difficult to get because what the drug companies are like, yo, we don't need no end all be all type of plant. You know what I mean? Some oil that they can use to help themselves. We want pills. You know what I mean? Black seed oil. It's another oil that is healthy for you. Now, of course, black seed oil is like oil. So if you take like a teaspoon of it, it's kind of like drinking oil. There's other things. There's pills you can take for black seed. Of course, you don't want gelatin in the pills, right? But I know I'm going around, but I'll kind of hone it in that the natural way is preventative measures. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, like the elder always says, definitely listen to your doctors and everything like that, because we wait till we get sick and it's like, okay, let me get some castor oil. You know what I mean? Like you want to do it now while you're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? To prevent any type of possible ailments. You know what I mean? To clear out your lymphatic system, like he said. You know what I mean? But we're living for the future. All right. Esau's going down into the pit. We coming up out of the pit. So let's stay a while. All right.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Con, so you can bring that out, King.
Con, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not arbor them.
Con. So you don't hate the medicine that the Most High makes. You know what I'm saying? You got it. All right. So that is the lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. You can see Esau is tumbling. He's falling down. We're coming up. You got interstellar objects out in space. You got the United States president on his knees to you know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's going down. He's gonna have to sit in the dust, and you got to dust yourself off because you about to sit in that chair, King. You know what I mean, Princess? You gotta sit in that chair, but get your crown right, okay? Right. So of course you gotta repent, stay prayed up, get your fasting on,
right?
Follow your law, statutes, and commandments, prayer, meditation, all that good thing. Keep it going, okay? Keep it going because, yeah, I like that picture. You know what I mean? We're gonna be walking around with lions and just tearing the Edomites up. You know what I mean? Drinking wine with Yahweh Shai, as long as we can keep this thing going in the right direction, okay? So stay focused. Time is short. We in the last days, last minutes, if you will. All right. So, stay focused. All right. Hanukkah's coming up. Make sure you get your donations in the respective cities. Plan to meet, plan to get together. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very spiritual time because, of course, all these things are happening. They're going to continue to happen. The sun exploded. Right, the sun exploded today, and it made like an 8, like an infinity sign on the sun. So each side of the sun is now exploding. All right, it's huge sunspots, coronal holes on the sun. So if you're feeling tired, your ears are ringing, you're having vivid dreams, you're within good company because the sun. We're affected by these things. You know what I'm saying? Hong Kong fires happening. So I didn't get the Moab. 156 dead, burned alive in a fire of like 3 tall buildings. You know what I'm saying? Southeast Asia, like 1,100 people gone after a cyclone went through there. So the heathens are getting destroyed.
Finish him.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go with everybody. Anyway, I couldn't get at everybody because we'd be here all night. But Most High, like he says in what's that? Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, is great people. You know, people are dying in great numbers. Okay. Ethiopian volcano erupted after 12,000 years, recorded history. It's a bit much. All right. These aren't normal times we're living in. All right. So stay focused. Okay. Stay focused.
That's right.
Ty, you want to bring anything out before we close out?
Nah, King, mighty lesson as always, man. I would say too, you know, tonight is, you know, HOI's fast. So anybody that's follow HOI, I would definitely get your fasting on tonight into tomorrow night. That's one of the big keys to staying healthy. That's what I noticed. You're less sick. You don't have to worry about the inflammation and everything like that. So yeah. Fasting is a big key, meditation and everything. So yeah. That's it, King. Mighty lesson, King, as always, man.
All praise to the Most High. The water for the reading, King. Appreciate you.
That's
right. Underbar, King. It's a Philly thing, you know.
All right, now we get now, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. That joint crazy. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna close out in prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to stand and face the east, prostrate, face the east, however you want to pray, you can do that. And I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew and the Lord's Prayer in English. Okay. This is the Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malachbaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Aya, Bashamayim, Natananawa, Lacham, Kau, Yawam, Wasalah Nawa, Kabawah Nawa, Kasalah Nawa, Kabawah Yanawa, Wala'a, Dami Nawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Wa'ala, Watapalaraf, Lawalumyam, Aman. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. O Lord, Yahweh, Babakashah, bring down our enemies down to the pit and uplift us into our rightful place in the kingdom to come. Make haste to send your son back, utterly vex our enemies, and protect us and surround us by your angels. Hear our prayers, hear our cries, hear our requests, and let our prayers pierce the clouds. In Yahweh's name we pray. Amen. Khan, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Mashiach Awashai. Kwom Yashala. We got next. Shalom.
Yeah. Shout out to my higher now, Yahweh. Shout out to Dark Side for this beat. All praises to my higher now, Yahweh, the house of Israel. Put your hands on your heart for your God. Kwom Yashala. We gonna roll with Yahweh. What? He's out higher now. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher now. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Come on. He's out higher now. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh, he's out higher now. There's none greater than the God Yahweh. Every day he show us his power, and these storms, man, they devour. He has bodies, man, every hour. Life is sour, but he brings power. And his son, yes, we do honor. He's our father, a mighty father, and you defile us, why even bother? All you wicked ass men that started study these powers, but he's the problem solver. Man, these scriptures hit like a revolver. Shrapnel in your face like a bomber. Daughters of Zion, let's go warn her that the Lord God is about to abhor her. Wait, hold up. This is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Hayanawa and to show Hayanawa that we have truly repented. Ain't no reason for a brother to come up to camp at the front like he got still. But if a real little brother by the will of the Yahweh, your cap, he might just fail. Wait, hold up. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out high and now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out high and now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out high and now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Hallelujah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out high and now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Who the hell said Yahweh ain't clear? People count back with a steer. Make you clap like you was a sin. Or a pig to the slaughter, you squeal. Like the devils in the Bible, it revealed. White women walk past it like